I'm a Wiradjuri man, you know. We had a very close-knit family. When I was 15, I started wrestling, and I was kind of looking for something different. I was a little bit of a loner, so I spoke to my father about it, and we had an uncle that lived at Petersham, and one of his best mates was the boxing coach. So I ended up going to Leichhardt Police Boys Club. Anyway, one Tuesday, the boxing coach never showed up, so I thought, oh, well, I wandered upstairs and they had wrestling. And I thought, gee, this looks good. And I said to the guy, I said, oh, when can I start? And he said, if you come Thursday, we've got a wrestling tournament. And I said, I've never wrestled before. He said, well, just bring a pair of shorts and we'll put you on. So I fronted up Thursday. I never went back to boxing. And then I got the state champion. And I had about 3 wrestles that night, and I come second. But that young boy that was state champion, he only ever beat me once, and then I just went on. In 3 years, I won selection to the Mexico Olympics. At 19, my first Olympics, to see what actually went on, it was just amazing, you know. All the people were friendly. We were like celebrities. After Mexico, in 1969, I wrestled in the Australian Championships and I was beaten. I come second. And then that same year I got called up for national service. And then in January I went to Holsworthy, which is the corps training for artillery. During your training there, they teach you all about the guns, what happens with fire missions, what sort of jobs that you can be allocated, and then nearing that, they asked us for our job description, what we wanted to be, and they were asking for volunteers for Vietnam. And 90% of the room put their hand up, so I thought, I'm not going to miss out here, so I put my hand up and I volunteered for Vietnam. It was pretty hectic, you know. They after they told you all the different things that could happen, a lot of us really didn't want to go. Yeah, we flew to Vietnam. Now, when we arrived in Ho Chi Minh City, there was this smell about Vietnam. It never left your nostrils until you left the country. So I spent 8 months in Vietnam, and so from Ton Son Nhut Airport, they flew us to Nui Dat, and then from Nui Dat, they took us to where our unit was located. Well, my first glimpse of death, or dead soldiers, was on the way from Nui Dat to the Horseshoe, which is the support base we were at. We went past an Arvin post, and there must have been a contact the night before, and there was a whole heap of plastic bags. And I said to me, mate, what are they? He said, oh, they're dead bodies. And apparently that was my first, sense of what went on there. The first night, actually the second night in Vietnam, I was on a gun. So when I got on this other gun, they had a fire mission. I didn't know what went on, you know. See, when you do corps training, they just teach you the basics. You don't even get to fire a gun. When you do corps training, it's just more or less the theory of what goes on. One night there, we fired 250 rounds. So there was a big contact going on. And when infantry come in contact with enemy, sometimes they need illumination so that they can see what's going on. This night there was actually a couple of Aussies were wounded, and we supplied the illumination. And like, for instance, Long Tan, they actually brought the bombs within 50 metres of themselves. So, you know, there's precision, you know. And, you know, with artillery, our nickname was drop shorts, because sometimes if you don't put the right charge in or the right elevation, something goes wrong and you drop them bombs too short, you could hit your own men. So, you know, it's every unit in the army, you know, they're well trained. I was over there for 8 months, and you could do 12 months. And I could see nothing going on, so my unit come back, so I decided to come back with the unit. So I spent 8 months. I wanted to get back to Australia to train for the Olympics, and so I get back to Sydney. I started training for the Olympics, and just before Christmas I dislocated me right elbow. So here I've got I've had a tonsillitis, I've had an appendectomy, and then I've dislocated my elbow, and then we had the trials in March 1972, and then I was trained hard. Because I was super fit from doing the physical training instructor's course, you know, I didn't lose too much fitness. I won selection for the Munich Olympics, and then I was selected. The hardest thing in the Olympics for me was to make the weight for 4 days. And the first 2 days weren't too bad, but by the time, I've never ever been to the 4th day. I've been 2 days where I've had to weigh in. So when I got to the 3rd day, and then I had to go to the 4th day, it was, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, I ended up coming 7th in the world, which is, you know, to me, it was a really good achievement. The next day after I finished competing, I was in the village. Next minute, bang, 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 bang. I heard those shots, and I thought, you know, because I was in Vietnam the year before, and they sounded like gunshots, and I thought, oh no, it's not here. And the next day they shut the village. It was the terrorists that killed the Israel athletes, and that was the last of the friendly games, you know. I got a bit restless, and so I thought, well, maybe I'll try my hand at being a commando. So I joined up, and I was there for 6 years. After 3 years, in 1981, I was Commando of the Year. Oh yeah, yeah. While I was in the Commandos, I rose to the rank of Corporal. So after Vietnam, I wanted a job where I was free. I didn't want to be in the one place all the time. So I wanted to get in the transport industry. So I bought a little van, and for the next 30, 40 years I worked as a courier. I was a coach at Bankstown Police Boys Club, 2000 Olympics. Being a coach, I was a wrestling coach for the Mount Druitt Police Boys Club. I was a successful coach up at Hornsby for about, after the 2 years that I was there, Hornsby won the best wrestling club in New South Wales. And then I moved out to Mount Druitt. A friend of mine was starting a club out there, and he asked me to come as a coach. So I went out there. Within 12 months of going to Mount Druitt, we then became the #1 club. I retired in 2001. I had post-traumatic stress. A friend of mine said, listen, John, you know, all the troubles that you're having, I went through the same thing. So he put me into the hands of Vietnam veterans at St Mary's. They started the ball rolling. Unfortunately, that's the legacy of war, you know.